The shuttle doors slid open with a hiss that echoed down the immaculate docking corridor. Light spilled across polished silver floors, revealing her silhouette, tall, composed, unflinching. Astra Raines didn't hesitate. Her boots touched the deck with silent certainty. Behind her, 2 council escorts stiffened as if she were a live explosive device. In a way, she was. "Welcome to Astraline Academy of Galactic Harmony," said the overhead announcement. "Behavioral compliance is mandatory." The wording carried a threat wrapped in courtesy. Astra scanned the corridor. The ceiling arched high, built from translucent alloys that displayed the vacuum of space. Beyond the glass, a pale violet gas giant loomed. The whole station floated in its orbit like a crown. Alien students filled the sides of the corridor, pushed back by council guards. They stared at Astra with caution bordering on disbelief. "That's her? The Deathworld girl? Humans are unstable. She'll snap." Astra kept her attention ahead. She'd learned that engaging with fear only fed it. Silence gave her control. The escorts, both insectoid and armor-plated uniforms, kept their distance. Neither wanted to walk close enough to brush her arm. One cleared his throat. "Keep your hands visible. Any sudden movements will—" Astra's reply was quiet, not hostile, just crisp. "I'm walking. That's all." Her voice carried a calm that unnerved them more than aggression could. Because aggression they understood. Calm was harder. The corridor opened into a grand atrium. A towering hologram projected a rotating star map labeled "Peace Through Order." Students in vibrant uniforms moved between different levels connected by floating platforms. Their voices dropped when Astra entered. The escort paused at a reception podium. A tall, angular alien stepped forward, a Valorian with skin the color of storm clouds. Her 6 amber eyes blinked independently. "I am Instructor Reese." She held a tablet at arm's length, as if proximity alone might be dangerous. "You will follow our rules. You will obey authority. Failure to comply will be corrected." Astra considered her tone. "This place sounds less like a school and more like a rehabilitation center." Several students gasped. Instructor Reese flicked a glance at the guards, then back to Astra. "You are here to learn discipline. Deathworlders are unpredictable." The word landed like an accusation. Astra offered no reaction. Her heartbeat remained slow and steady, expression unreadable. Reese turned sharply. "Follow." Astra followed. They entered a classroom, tiered seating, floating holographic displays, air heavy with sterilizing agents. Students filled most seats. Species from across the spiral arm watched her with morbid fascination. A holographic banner scanned her and projected a warning. Species, human, Deathworld classification. Proceed with caution. Some students flinched. Others leaned in, curious. Reese gestured to a metal scanning chair. "Sit. We will begin analysis." Astra remained where she stood. "Why?" "So that we can understand the extent of your biological abnormalities." Astra didn't like the word abnormalities, but she sat. Not because she obeyed, but because resisting now would reveal more than she wanted. A mechanical arm descended, humming. Light swept across her body, collecting data. Numbers appeared on the display. Muscle density, 198% above station average. Adrenal override, uncontrolled. Stress response, escalating. Whispers rippled through the classroom. "She's dangerous." No wonder her planet is ranked lethal. Reese studied the results with thinly veiled fear. "Your planet should have wiped your species out." "How did your kind survive?" Astra met her gaze. "We adapted." "Pain teaches faster than comfort," Reese bristled. "That is not civilized." "Neither is kidnapping minors from their planet for behavior correction," Astra replied, voice steady. A few students suppressed grins. Someone stifled a laugh. Reese stiffened. "This academy's purpose is harmony." "Defiance disrupts harmony." Astra leaned back in the chair. "Harmony or obedience?" The instructor's patience thinned. "You will learn respect." "I will learn the schedule," Astra said. "Respect is earned." Whispers turned into murmurs. Seeds of rebellion sprouted. Her words illuminated a truth alien students had never spoken aloud. Wrists snapped toward the observation window. Deploy discipline units. Panels slid open. 4 drones flew out, floating metal cuffs attached to serpentine arms. Electrical restraints glowed along their spines. Astra didn't tense. She simply watched them approach. The first drone lunged. Astra shifted her elbow 1 inch, precisely enough. Its clamp missed and struck the drone beside it. The impact overloaded both. Sparks burst. Students gasped. The remaining drones closed in. Astra stood. A twist, a sidestep, a flick of her wrist, every movement controlled. The drones collided, not with her, but with each other. In seconds, all 4 crashed to the floor, smoking. Astra hadn't struck a single one. Riss stared, stunned. "How did you—" "You attack like predators," Astra said softly. "You don't predict like prey." It wasn't bragging. It was fact. An alarm blared. Access door override. Headmaster arrival. The atmosphere shifted. Even the arrogant students stopped breathing. The doors slid open. Headmaster Zyrath entered, long coat trailing, eyes sharp as shards of glass. His authority crushed the room without a word spoken. He studied the wreckage of the drones. Then he studied. "Astra, you disarmed restraint technology designed to hold. Class 8 predators." Astra didn't blink. They moved predictably. "You are not here to demonstrate dominance." His voice was calm, far too calm. "You are here to be corrected." "No correction is needed," Astra replied. Zyrath turned to the guards. "She requires immediate compliance conditioning. Escort her to the restraint chamber." Astra didn't resist, but she looked him in the eyes before they dragged her forward. "You don't know what humans are capable of when cornered." For the first time, something flickered across the headmaster's face. Not anger, recognition. The elevator doors closed, trapping Astra with the escorts. The lift vibrated as it descended deeper into the station. Bright floors turned darker, more industrial. Pipes replaced glass. Warning labels replaced banners. The escorts kept one eye on her. "You should have stayed quiet," one muttered. Astra inhaled, exhaled, surrendering. "Dignity is not survival." The elevator stopped. Blast door slid open. Astra stepped into a dim chamber filled with heat-resistant chains. She felt the temperature rise. Someone wanted to break her. Someone believed she could break for the first time since she'd stepped on this station. Astra smiled. Small, dangerous. They had no idea what a Deathworld girl was made of. The restraint chamber felt like it belonged in a warship, not a school. Metal walls curved inward, forming a narrow cylinder. The floor vibrated faintly from power conduits beneath it. No chairs, no furniture, no softness. Just an industrial stillness broken by the hum of unseen machinery. Astra stood at the center. Above her, mechanical arms hung from a track embedded in the ceiling. Each one held a different device: cuffs, neural clamps, and lengths of shimmering alloy chains. The escorts released her and stepped back quickly, as though proximity might trigger an explosion. The door sealed them out. Astra rolled her shoulders once, loosening tension. Her pulse stayed steady, her breathing controlled. Panic wasted oxygen. Fear wasted clarity. She refused to waste anything. A section of the far wall dissolved into a viewing window, revealing Headmaster Zyrath behind reinforced glass. Light touched only half his face, sharpening his features into angles that belonged on statues. He regarded her like a specimen. "You believe silence is a form of rebellion?" he said through the intercom. "In this academy, silence is consent." Astra raised her chin, the motion subtle. "Silence is patience. Consent is choice. That distinction doesn't exist here? Then the flaw is in your system," she replied. There was no tremor in her voice. Confidence unsettled tyrants more than defiance. Zyrath nodded toward the ceiling. Mechanical arms descended. The chains glimmered with a dull silver sheen, thick, segmented metal laced with faint glowing veins. They looked like molten steel frozen mid-flow. Heat radiated from them before they even touched her. The headmaster activated the restraints with a tap on an unseen interface. Force compression protocol. Active. Energy-tempered restraints engaged. The chains snapped shut around Astra's wrists and ankles. Cold bit into her skin first, followed by a rush of heat that hit like desert sand after midnight. She didn't flinch. Xyrath observed her reaction. Waiting for the moment of fear, Astra gave him nothing. "Do you know what these are?" he asked. "Bad jewelry," she replied. He smiled without warmth. "These chains are alloyed with plasma-hardened seraxium. They bind star predators, beasts that crush ships. Your muscles won't save you. I'm not planning to use force." He arched one brow. "You assume you have a choice?" Astra stayed still, letting her heartbeat slow. The metal grew hotter. She could smell the change in the air, sharp, metallic, faintly ozone-like. Xyrath pressed another control. Temperature rising, 3,000 degrees C. Astra felt heat push against her skin, not yet pain, but a warning. He walked closer to the glass, voice smooth. "You are a disruptive influence. The other students must believe that humans can be contained." Astra inhaled through her nose, calm, steady. "Containment isn't harmony. It's fear wearing restraints of its own. You believe in freedom without structure? I believe control without consent is a cage." The headmaster studied her an extra beat. Not because of her words, because she still didn't break. He pressed the control again. Temperature, 4,000 degrees heat, seared into the metal. The chains pulsed with a burning orange glow. Astra felt the fire creep toward her skin. Still, she held her breath. Stress raises adrenaline. Adrenaline raises muscle tension. Muscle tension invites panic. She kept muscles loose. Panic was the enemy. Xyrath paced in front of the window. "You think I misunderstand humans? On the contrary, I understand you too well." Astra lowered her gaze. Not submissively. Strategically. He wanted emotional reaction. She denied him the satisfaction. He leaned forward as if revealing truth to a stubborn child. "You react to threat. You crave opposition. Without struggle, your kind has no purpose." "That's projection," Astra replied. "You need to feel in control. Without dominance, you don't know who you are." His jaw flexed. For the first time, a crack. Astra felt the chains tighten further. The pressure compressed bone and muscle, but not dangerously. Whoever designed them understood thresholds well. Her skin prickled. Heat bled through the metal into her flesh. Every instinct screamed, pull, fight, break free. Instead, she exhaled slowly. Pain sharpened focus. Xyrath turned off the intercom for a moment, speaking to the technicians behind him. Their mouths moved fast, eyes darting between her vital readings and the restraints. He reactivated the intercom. "Humans are volatile," he said, "unpredictable, driven by primitive impulses. Primitive doesn't mean weak, it means uncontrollable." Astra let the heat burn a fraction longer. Her body responded the way Earth had trained it to, micro-adaptations triggered by stress. Her skin didn't blister, her bloodstream shifted. Heat became fuel. She locked eyes with Xyrath. "You're studying the wrong thing," he stiffened. "Excuse me?" "You're focused on the instinct instead of the discipline." Her voice held no strain. "No pain. That frightened him more than screaming ever could. Raise temperature to maximum," he ordered. A technician hesitated. "Sir, she may—" "Do as I command." Temperature, 5,000 degrees C. Final limit. The chains changed color. Orange vanished. White replaced it. The heat became visible energy, a trembling haze around the metal. The seraxium alloy reached the threshold where even plasma-treated materials destabilized. Astra remained still. Heat licked her wrists like firelight over skin. She didn't. "Resist," she allowed. She waited. Her biology reacted. Cells adjusting, blood cooling, skin tightening. The first drop of molten metal hit the floor, a perfect silver bead. Xyrath stared. Impossible. More droplets slid down the restraints, falling like mercury tears. The chain links thinned, softening as if someone erased their structure. Astra flexed her fingers once. Slow and precise, the weakened metal snapped. The sound was delicate, almost polite. She lowered her arms. The broken restraints hit the ground with soft, metallic clinks, not a mark on her. Zyrath stumbled back. Astra spoke, tone even. You built chains strong enough for monsters. You didn't plan for a girl who refuses to become one. The headmaster's composure fractured. Security! Containment breach! Lock the station! The chamber door flew open. Armed guards stormed in, shields raised, weapons aimed. Astra didn't take a fighting stance. She simply stood. The guards advanced. Astra's gaze swept across them. Her voice was calm enough to chill the air. You don't want to do this! They charged. She moved. A slight angle of her body redirected momentum. One guard crashed into another. A foot pivot, a measured sway, a shift of balance. Her movements wasted nothing. She didn't strike. She let them fall by their own force. In less than 5 seconds, the guards were on the floor, disarmed, tangled, unharmed. Astra stepped over them and walked toward the exit. Zyrath blocked the view window with both hands against the glass. You can't leave, he hissed. You are Earth property under Council jurisdiction. Astra slowed enough for him to see her expression clearly. I belong to no one. Her footsteps faded down the corridor. The headmaster trembled. Rage. Fear, disbelief twisting together. A student watching from an unsecured monitor whispered in awe, Deathworlders don't break chains. Chains break around them. The corridor beyond the restraint chamber was cold and silent, lit only by a row of soft blue floor strips guiding the emergency route. Astra walked with steady steps, leaving the ruined chains behind. Her wrists bore no marks, only the faint shimmer of heat fading from her skin. A pulsing alarm began echoing through the hall. Alert. Human escaped restraint zone. All personnel, evacuate. Her presence turned the elite academy into panic. Doors locked. Lights shifted to red. Tension rippled through the air like static before a storm. A group of alien students froze at the end of the hall. Their eyes widened at the sight of her walking free. She broke the restraints. That's impossible. Those chains held star predators. Astra didn't stop. She walked past them, unhurried. One student, small, tremoring, pressed himself against a wall as she approached. His voice came out tiny. Are you going to hurt us? Astra paused. Not because she needed to. Because he needed an answer. No, she said softly. I'm leaving. That's all. Confusion flickered in his eyes. He expected rage. He expected violence. She offered neither. Why not? He whispered. Astra tilted her head, thinking. Freedom isn't earned by stepping on others. It's earned by walking away from those who want to own you, the student swallowed. His world, his understanding of strength, shifted in that moment. She continued toward the central atrium. The academy was chaos. Sirens pulsed. Lights cut on and off. Automated defense turrets extended from overhead compartments, tracking her movement. Holographic warnings blinked over every doorway. Isolate. Disarm. Subdue. Astra stopped beneath a turret. Its red tracking laser centered on her forehead. A synthetic voice spoke. Stand down. Lethal force permitted. Astra looked up, meeting the machine's emotionless stare. She didn't reach for a weapon. She didn't run. She simply stepped forward. The gun calculated a firing solution, and hesitated. Her pulse didn't spike. No fear, no aggression. She wasn't prey or predator. She wasn't in the biological range the turret was calibrated to target. The turret shut down. Astra stepped past it. She reached the central atrium, open space. Floating platforms, students gathered on balconies above. 100 eyes tracked her. The silence held its breath. A cluster of armored guards blocked the exit to the hangar. They formed a wall of shields. The captain barked the order. Advance and pin her. Non-lethal force. Astra raised her hand slowly. Not surrender. Awareness. I don't want to harm anyone. The guards advanced anyway. A guard swung a shield. Astra stepped aside. His momentum pulled him forward. She tapped the underside of the shield, just enough to shift his balance. He toppled backwards into 2 others. Another grabbed her wrist. Astra twisted, not to break his arm but to redirect the force. His own grip flipped him onto his back. 3 down. No injuries. The remaining guard lunged. Astra leaned rather than dodged, using one shoulder to redirect his lunge sideways. He crashed into a staircase railing. She kept walking. Above, students stared in disbelief. She isn't fighting them. She's avoiding hurting them. One whispered the conclusion none had considered before. Humans don't enjoy violence. They survive it. She reached the hangar door. Locked. Security shields covered the entrance in a translucent barrier. Astra set her palm against the shield. Warm vibrations hummed beneath her hand. Behind her, the atrium doors slammed open. Headmaster Xyrath entered, surrounded by an armed escort and flanked by hovering drones. His coat flowed behind him like a talisman of authority trying to cling to relevance. Astra Raines. She didn't turn. Step away from the hangar, Xyrath commanded. The barrier rippled when she pushed gently. Open it, she said. His voice stayed controlled, but fury threaded his tone. You have endangered an institution under council protection. Your escape attempt will trigger sanctions against your homeworld. Astra faced him then, calm, unshaken. You kidnapped minors from Earth and called it education. It is civilization. Your kind is volatile. My kind learns from struggle. Yours creates cages to avoid it. Xyrath took a step closer, jaw clenched. Leave this station and Earth will be labeled an uncontrolled threat. We will propose extermination. Students watching from above gasped. Astra stared directly into his eyes. Nothing about her posture changed, not her breathing, not her stance, not even her heartbeat. You won't, she said. And why not? He challenged. Astra leaned her head slightly, voice low and direct, because deep down, you already know what happens when humans decide they're cornered. A subtle tremor ran through Xyrath's fingers. Not even anger. Fear. He activated the shields at maximum strength. The barrier pulsed brighter. You are not leaving this academy. Astra turned her back to him. Not a gesture of disrespect, but dismissal. You cannot cage someone who refuses to live in a cage. She placed her palm against the barrier. Again, her skin warmed. Cells shifted. Heartbeat lowered. The shield flickered, reacting not to force but to irregular energy signature. Humans were anomalies. Their biology didn't follow the patterns the shield was built to read. The field warped and collapsed. Astra walked into the hangar. The docking bay housed sleek student transports, maintenance drones, and a line of shuttlecraft suspended in magnetic cradle locks. She selected the smallest scout vessel. Lightweight, fast, Xyrath ran after her, breath sharp. You will doom your species! Astra paused at the ramp. No, I will remind the galaxy that humans don't start fights. She looked over her shoulder. We finish escapes, the ramp sealed. Engines powered, the shuttle lifted. Astra guided it through the hangar's opening shield. The stars unfolded ahead, silent, infinite, free. Inside the atrium, a young alien student stood frozen, remembering Astra's words in the hallway. Freedom isn't earned by stepping on others. It's earned by walking away, he whispered into the silence. She didn't conquer this place. She outgrew it. In the command booth, Xyrath watched the shuttle disappear into the dark. His voice was barely audible. She wasn't a threat, the technician beside him swallowed. No, sir, Xyrath exhaled, defeated. She was a warning. The shuttle coasted through silent space, engines whispering against the vacuum. Astra sat in the pilot's chair, posture steady, gaze locked on the starfield ahead. No alarms, no pursuit signals. No threats on the radar, but she knew Xyrath wasn't done. The Galactic Council never surrendered power without retaliation. Astra checked the coordinates, course set toward a neutral relay point, where she could signal Earth without triggering war protocols. She leaned back, exhaled, and allowed herself a rare moment of quiet. Her hands trembled slightly. Not from fear, from restraint. She had walked away when she could have destroyed that school. She had chosen her own path instead of letting rage guide her. The discipline cost her far more than violence ever would. The shuttle chimed. Incoming transmission. Council priority. Astra hardened her jaw and opened the channel. Headmaster Zyrath's image flickered into view, backlit by the command room. Students and officers forming a rigid semicircle behind him. "Astra Raines," he said, voice rigid. "Return the shuttle immediately." She folded her arms. "No. You are in violation of 22 interstellar treaties and 17 Academy laws. I didn't sign any of them." His expression tightened. "We will send enforcement vessels." Astra tapped the side console to mute her microphone and pulled up the shuttle's external cameras. She spotted the distant glint of ships leaving the station. They weren't wasting time. She unmuted. "You don't understand humans," she said. "You think authority gives you control?" "It does," Zyrath snapped. Astra gave a humorless nod. "Then let's test that." She severed the link. Minutes later, deep space. The enforcement ships closed in, sleek silver hulls, glowing weapon rails, engines burning bright. The shuttle shook as they locked onto her trajectory. Auto voice, unidentified pilot. "Cut your engines or we will immobilize your vessel." Astra didn't flinch. Instead, she initiated a manual override. "Shuttle," she whispered. "Engage stealth glide." The engine noise faded to a hum. She powered down every non-essential system, letting the shuttle drift like a piece of debris. The enforcement ships overshot, scanning ahead for engine traces she no longer emitted. They missed her completely. Astra smirked. "Sometimes survival isn't strength. It's misdirection." She recalibrated course toward the relay station. Relay station E19, fringe zone near Council space. The station was a small rotating satellite, barely habitable. It existed only to route messages from restricted sectors. Astra docked, cycled the airlock, and entered. The interior smelled of lubricants and recycled oxygen. Panels flickered weakly. The station was old, built before elegance mattered when function dominated form. She found the transmission console, a thick slab of composite metal anchored to the floor. Its screen hummed to life as she approached. A prompt blinked. "Connect to origin planet?" Astra placed her palm on the reader. "Earth," she said. The console hesitated, then accepted. "Channel established. Secure link." A hollow window formed, displaying a man in a dark uniform. His eyes widened when he recognized her. "Astra? You're alive?" "Commander Hale, Earth Special Forces Liaison." She hadn't seen him since deployment. He looked older, sleepless. Astra nodded once. "Extraction was premature. The Council tried to demonstrate human compliance." Hale's expression darkened. "What did they do to you?" "They tried to restrain me." His eyes flashed. "Did they succeed?" Astra allowed silence to answer. Hale leaned forward. "Do you want retrieval? We can send a fleet." "No." She inhaled slowly. "This isn't a battle to win. It's a truth to reveal." Hale studied her, reading the determination in her eyes. "What do you need?" Astra pointed at the console camera. "Broadcast channel, unrestricted, galaxy-wide." Hale hesitated. "Your message will provoke the Council. That's the point." He nodded once, then tapped commands off screen. Link activated. Astra stepped into frame. Her voice stayed level, not hostile, not emotional. "Just resolute. This is Astra Raines of Earth. The Galactic Council kidnapped minors, attempted forced compliance, and violated free sentient laws. Humans will not obey abuse disguised as education." She paused for half a heartbeat. "You cannot cage a species raised by storms." Commander Hale cleared his throat. "Transmission sent. Entire Council network is receiving it." Astra lowered her hand from the console. "Thank you." "You're not coming home yet, are you?" he asked. She shook her head. "Not until I finish what I started." He respected that answer. "Earth stands with you." The link cut. Back on the Academy station, Zyrath stared at the broadcast replay. His hands trembled. His authority, his control, fractured in a single statement. Students surrounded the hollow screen, whispering. She didn't threaten anyone. She told the truth. Zyrath slammed his fist against the console. "She broadcasted without authorization." "She," Instructor Riss interrupted cautiously. "Sir, the Council is calling. They want to question our methods." Zyrath froze. "The Council is questioning me?" Yes, she whispered. Your attempt to cage a human has become a diplomatic incident. The headmaster's face drained of color. His arrogance collapsed under the realization he hadn't proved humans were dangerous. He had proved he was afraid of them. Relay station, departure Astra, sealed her shuttle for launch. As the engines warmed, something appeared on her scanner, a small shape leaving the academy, a personal transport. One of the alien students, the young boy from the hallway. His voice crackled. Through the comms. I want to learn from you. Astra blinked. Why? You didn't hurt anyone. You didn't break us. You let us choose. A faint smile touched her lips. Come alongside me. But understand, being free means thinking for yourself. He nodded. That's why I came. Their ships aligned side by side, heading into open space. A message flashed across Astra's console. Destination unknown. Freedom, self-directed, Astra looked forward again, toward stars that belonged to no one. Let's go, she said. The engines ignited. 2 ships slipped into the dark, leaving cages and an entire fearful academy behind. Final line. Humans don't run from cages. We create doors where none existed.